I came to America with one suitcase and one dream. But in the very first week, New York taught me that life here isn't always fair. That night, a strange tightness hit my chest. My breathing felt heavy. My roommate panicked and called 911. And within minutes, I was lying in the ER waiting area of a Manhattan hospital. The lights were so bright, they burned my eyes, and the receptionist's smile felt just as distant as her attention. At the triage desk, the nurse's first question was about insurance. I told her I had just moved and the insurance was still in process. That was all it took for her tone to shift. She asked a few quick questions and said, "We'll monitor you." But I didn't see any urgency in her eyes. An older man across from me got an IV immediately, while I sat hunched over, holding my chest, trying to breathe. I said, "Please, I can't breathe," but the nurse simply adjusted her clipboard and walked away. Inside me was fear, loud rising fear, whispering that maybe I was alone here. My mom didn't pick up her phone. I barely had any money left, and one thought kept circling in my mind. What if I don't wake up tomorrow? The doctor came, did a quick check, and without much thought said, "Probably acid reflux." He handed me discharge papers like I was just taking up space. Confusion, anger, and humiliation mixed together, but I couldn't say anything. When I reached the hostel, my whole body felt weak. My roommate called our neighbor, Tyrone, a 45-year-old black man who had lived in that area for years. He watched my breathing, listened to my symptoms, and immediately said, "No, they sent you home too fast." He took me straight back to the hospital and stood firmly at the front desk. "Run the EKG, now," he said. His voice was firm, confident, and for the first time the staff looked at me seriously. They did the test, and the results showed arrhythmia. The doctor quietly admitted, "We should have tested earlier." In that moment, I realized something. Here, survival sometimes depends on being loud, not silent. After treatment, the pain settled, and I was getting ready to leave. A young nurse handed me a flyer quietly. "This clinic helps people without insurance," she said softly. "Go here, they'll treat you right." That small act of kindness lifted the weight of the whole night. As we walked out, Tyrone placed his hand on my shoulder and said, "You did good, kid. Don't ever let the system ignore you." That night taught me a truth. America isn't bad everywhere, but when the system fails, you have to prove yourself just to be seen. And the biggest lesson? Asking for help isn't weakness, it's strength. This was just my first week, but this week taught me one thing clearly. If you stay silent, the system will forget you. And I'm not staying silent anymore.